So that was the last game of the series, but Dewalt wanted to have a rematch and Baetsal agreed to it. So actually, we're going to have a 10th game. Dewalt is going to get a rematch versus Baetsal right now. So this, I think, will be the final game. We do have Dewalt versus Baetsal. Is going to be Protoss versus Terran. This time Baetsal for sure will be paying attention to his bunker. This time we do have Baetsal at top middle. Dewalt is at mid left. Gypsy has left us. He has gone to get some food. Not committed to StarCraft, just unbelievable him. Let me make sure everything is correct. Alright. So, we just saw Baetsal go for gasless expand. Got punished big time, not paying attention to the bunker. Ended up just winning the game with 4 goons. And Dewalt was going for triple nexus before observer. So actually both players, well, Baetsal had a potentially winning move with his proxy factory. Dewalt would have been in real trouble if he hadn't have won the game right there. So I wonder if either player are going to go for the same build, or if we're just going to have a mix-up from either side. I actually think, well, I've heard from different players before when there's a rematch like this that some players think it's right to go for the same opener, and some players don't care, that they feel like they don't necessarily have to open the same. So this time Baetsal is gonna open differently. This is gonna be a 12 gas. Meanwhile, the Dewalt standard opener, it's gonna be gas for him. The last game we didn't see any zealots. We did just see rallied goons into triple nexus. Fast scout from Baetsal coming in. It's going to be a 12 scout, so this is the best timing to go scout. You can double scout. You can see the 12 nexus and make an evaluation of if you want to pull. You can also make an evaluation of how many zealots are coming in. When you get into their base, you're not going to miss a zealot moving out later, or moving out if you go at this particular timing. And luckily for him, he is going to find Baetsal, or he's going to find Dewalt first. Now remember last game, Dewalt didn't scout at all, so he's actually going to scout too. He wants to see whether this guy is going to continue playing gasless or if he's going to deviate a little bit, and we see that he is deviating. Now I didn't see the nexus stop blinking, so I think that Dewalt has not cut a zealot, or not cut a probe to get a zealot. Oh, actually he did build a zealot, so he is just going to put pressure onto Baetsal. I guess he suspected that Baetsal might just go for the same opener, and this zealot pressure would be putting a lot of pressure onto Baetsal. Factory coming in, nice Sim City for him. Depot here, it's going to allow, I think that zealots cannot go through here, whereas Marines can, and Marines definitely can go through here and zealots can't. So this is a good Sim City from Baetsal. And this time, Dewalt's going to come in here and find the unfortunate news that there is no gasless. Range coming in for Dewalt. Last game it was a 28 Nexus. We'll have to see if he's going to continue to go for something similar. Now, Zealot wants to poke in, but already 3 Marines are here, so I don't think he's really going to find any damage. And I think moving back like this was pretty smart. Just forcing out additional Marines is already punishing enough on the Terran. Even a 5th Marine coming in. So usually when you see 5 Marines, this is going to be some type of FD, ample-esque move. I personally like to just go to 4 and just play macro game from here, just take my bunker. But, ooh, actually a 6th Marine coming out. Now, I think he did see all 5 Marines, so Dewalt should know what's coming in. Now, you gotta be careful because 5 Marines with a Vulture just decimate a Zealot almost instantly. Now, that SCV gets picked off. Really nicely done from Dewalt. I didn't even realize that that SCV was low health, but that's okay. Zealot did take a lot of shield damage right there, so you gotta be careful. Command Center gets delayed just a little bit. Now Dewalt actually does expand. Looked like it was about a 30 gate, or a 30 Nexus I mean. So everything very normal. Now I don't think he's going to go for triple Nexus this time, so I expect this to be a robotics pretty soon. He's got the gas for it. There's a pylon. Still no robotics just yet. This must be the robotics. Yep, robotics. Very standard. Vulture might pick off a Zealot, but so far, both players just forcing out additional units in the early stages of the game. No real damage being done to either side. Another gate. So 2 gate is pretty standard, at least what I face on the ladder. A lot of Terran players have been doing 2-fact, and they go for the 3 tank, couple Marines, rallied Vultures timing, and this just shuts it down. You just build non-stop goons. You can really just deal with the army very easily. So very common follow-up. Second factory is coming in, so this might actually be what I was just mentioning, and more Marines coming. Now I've never seen someone build this amount of Marines with this attack, but this is, I think, gonna be pretty darn strong. And Reaver is not the fastest unit in the game to build, so if he was to go right when this tank pops out and get mines, I think this might actually be a killing move for Dewalt, because even though 2 gate can produce a lot of goons, it's going to take him a while to get up. I think a decent, well, he's going to have a decent amount at 6, but I think maybe 8 is the number that he really needs. It's a really good thing he kept this Zealot alive, even though Marines will mow down the Zealot. If the Marines start targeting a goon or something and don't actually get an instant kill onto the Zealot, it can deal a surprising amount of damage. Now here comes that move out. That is a lot of Marines. It is 9 Marines, 3 tanks, rallied Vulture, and there's only 6 goons, or 5 goons in 1 Zealot. And Dewalt, okay, the reason he didn't have his Robo so fast is he's actually going 2 base Arbiter. Now this attack is going to hit before any of the key structures complete. Templar Archive's not done, but if he can hold off long enough, 1 DT may be able to turn the tides. Now this Vulture moving in should be alarm bells for Dewalt, because why are you coming in at this point? Really nice coordination with these tanks and Marines. Ooh, that's a dead goon. That's a dead Zealot. And I think this might just be game over. Vultures are getting mines down, but none of the Marines died. None of the tanks have died. Still 5 goons remain. 4 goons and a dream. This is so hard to hold. Probe drill is great. Maybe he does have more than enough goons to hold it off. Dewalt pushes it back with 6 goons. Okay, there's 1 goon falling down, but he's going to kill this tank. Oh, the target firing is a little bit lacking, but now he's going to pop these 2. Actually, Dewalt holds this easily. I thought that was not going to be enough with 9 Marines soaking up hits for the tanks. And he wasn't even phased. The whole time he's microing it, he's still hitting his build. He's still got his Arbiter Tribunal coming up, and Baetsal has no idea what this is. This could have been Reaver, so he's got to respect that. I'm sure he's going to put up turrets pretty soon. He's got to respect that this could be 2 base Arbor. It could be Gateway Man, which I've been seeing more often these days. So that's going to be a command center. Holy smokes, this guy is playing ballsy. He thinks that he's dealt enough damage in the early stages of the game that Reaver is too far, or it's too late in the game for Reaver to come in, so he's feeling confident to just expand off of this. But 2 base Arbiter, this is going to be hitting really fast. Now, really, going into straight command center here is a really good move for Baetsal, because the counter to 2 base Arbiter is to just get your bases up. You can't really attack into it. It's very hard to make timing attacks work. So this is really going to be a good move from Baetsal. Get his 3rd gas up and running. He's going to be able to potentially take a 4th base pretty fast too, because it is Sylphid. Vulture's doing a good job to deny some of these probes, but still Baetsal doesn't know what this is. I think now that he's not found a 3rd base, he can probably guess that it can only be 1 or 2 things. It's 2 base Carrier or it's 2 base Arbiter. And either way, both of these builds are susceptible to fast upgrades, fast 3rd base, fast 4th base. So Baetsal should be feeling pretty good. He got a couple probes in the initial stages, eliminated some of the goons, but he did lose 3 tanks, which a lot of times is game ending in the early stages of the game. Academy coming in. Now this is going to be funny. If his Academy completes and he insta-scans and Dewalt was to attack with an Arbiter right at that moment, he wouldn't have any vision for anything. Like, he would just die to just mass goon or mass zealot under what do you call it? Under invisibility. So Baetsal's gonna have to be careful to not use up all his scans in case Dewalt does try to go for a bust. Now, third and fourth base is going to be coming up for Dewalt pretty soon. He is just clearing a few of these mines. He's still got a supply lead, so everything's looking a-okay for him. Armory +1 is spinning. I didn't see the exact timing, but I imagine just based simply on the opening. Probably Baetsal is looking for like a 14-15 minute 2-1 timing. Or maybe not. Second Armory is surprisingly quick, but still maybe around a 14-minute timing. Third base already up and running. Good saturation. He's got more than enough SCVs here. He's got decent saturation in the main. Maybe a little oversaturated at the third compared to the main. But overall, looking good for Baetsal. Fourth base going up for Dewalt. He's got 4 gate. Even though that doesn't sound like a lot, it can build a lot of units slowly over time. So I expect Dewalt to be able to probably pump out like 2 or 3 arbors by the time Baetsal actually wants to get aggro. Now this might be a DT drop. This is something we see more and more these days. Yep, there it is. There's the first DT. And I just heard a scan go off. So that's only 1 scan. He's got a second one coming. So he has 2 scans available. Meanwhile, there are 3 DTs here. So if they split up, that's going to be a lot of damage. He took out one of the DTs. That's going to be a second DT going down. No, he's got to be careful to split that one up. He may even... Nope. Does not save that one. So DT drop actually got cleaned up relatively easily. Turret comes in, so the amount of damage now is going to be nullified. But Dewalt still has his 4th base coming in. He's going to be able to transfer some probes now to that base. And he's really going to start getting his econ going now. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th gate already going to be coming up. Forge is spinning now. I think Arbiter should be popping out momentarily too. So Dewalt really in a fantastic position. He's delayed the Terran player a little bit with this 1 DT. May even get a kill. Oh, every kill matters. Goon's just going to be annoying at the entry. So he picks off a turret and backs off. Now, Baetsal, he needs to be a bit careful now. 2 base Arbiter I find to be the hardest build for me to deal with. Oh, is that going to be a recall? So we are going to have a really fast recall. And he just killed a turret. So he knows that there's a lack of mines here. He knows that unless Baetsal was really on top of it and already replenished the turrets over here, this is going to be an easy area to recall. And all of Baetsal's tanks are out of position. It looks like there's 5 at the natural, but there's that recall. And he gets right on top of the science facility. So that's going to be no vessels coming out anytime soon. No more EMP either. Now, he doesn't have any stasis on this Arbiter, but this is going to be tons and tons of damage. And while this is all going on, he's got some units coming to the 3rd base, but Baetsal doesn't move his entire army. Smart from him. But this, wow, he's just going to be supply blocked forever. Goons are going to trade pretty decently versus these tanks too, since there's an overwhelming amount of them. Zealots did nothing at the entrance, but oh, there's an Arbiter. So actually, if Baetsal isn't paying attention, just... Oh, he lost his eBay too, so he can't build any turrets. So this is kind of what I was talking about. If he's out of scans, I think this might just be over. Comstat went down. He only has 1 scan available. Here comes some Zealots, and if they just sit in the mineral line, he's just going to explode them. I think, yep, there's a scan. Zealots getting on top of this thing. Dewalt's done it. Supplies are plummeting for Baetsal. He's perma supply block. GG. So Dewalt takes an easy victory in our rematch. So 2-0 for Dewalt here, making it look super, super easy. So well done from him. And he held off a very strong push, which I thought he actually wasn't going to hold. So Dewalt gets his revenge, or rematch there. Baetsal not able to get revenge. So now, I will confirm whether this is the final game or not. I'm thinking that this is the final game. Dewalt looks so nasty in Protoss versus Terran. The hold at the beginning was the most impressed with. 9 Marines, 3 tanks versus 6 Goons and a Zealot. And he had rallied Vultures. Yeah, I think that's it because Baetsal wrote Sugo and insta-left. So, I think now we are officially done. But again, thank you guys for watching. Check out StarCast on YouTube. I cast there. Sham2 cast there. Flash for the Win cast there. We got a lot of games there. There's also Spanish casters. You know, one, I think Death Fate and Jan cast there, if I pronounced it right. So check that out. And that's going to be it. Team 4 and All-Stars falling down to Team Postas 5-4, but really had opportunities to win 5-4, even 6-3, honestly. So maybe in the future we'll get a rematch, but now we are done. So bye-bye.